is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Southwest.
The Texas Rangers need a lift after a tough stretch in Toronto. Cole Hamels knows his job is stopping a losing skid in its tracks. Tonight, he faces a tough matchup, but the skipper feels confident with his ace on the mound. Stay tuned for Game 1 from Detroit on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball is presented by AT&T High-Speed Internet. Welcome to Comerica Park, downtown Detroit, home of the Tigers, as we get you ready for Game 1 of this 3-game series. Texas Rangers happy to get out of Canada, very happy to be back stateside, and we'll see if they can turn things around here against the Tigers team coming off a difficult sweep on the road. Hi again, folks. I'm Dave Raymond with Steve Busby. If you like a great pitching matchup, we're thrilled to death to be here tonight for this one. It's going to be fun. Cole Hamels and Jordan Zimmermann. You've got a lefty, you've got a righty, you got guys who are the aces of their staffs. It should be fun.
Yeah, with all due respect to Justin Verlander, the matchup of the two best on each team, and it's going to be a dandy here tonight. Cole Hamels, not a great outing his last time out, shaking off a little rust after missing that one start with the sore groin muscle. And Zimmermann, all you can say is he's been perfect. 5-0, that 0.55 ERA. So a couple of guys that matched up several times in the National League now come over to the junior circuit, and they will match up here tonight. An important game for both teams as they both come in on 3-game losing streaks. Tigers back home for the first time in about 3 weeks, so they'd like to get things underway. The Rangers would like to get back on the track on the road.
And I think both teams looking for their offenses to get started too, and both teams with some good thump in there. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out tonight. But if you love pitching, stay with us tonight. We got a little bit more coming up for you before the game tonight. Get a deal we're talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. It is a beautiful spring evening in Detroit, Michigan. Site of Game 1 of our 3-game series. Rangers and Tigers starting lineups coming up. Look, Buzz, sometimes whatever it takes. Let's provide that offense. Wake those bats up again. Well, let's hope that the fun continues tonight. The Rangers with a challenge, but they send that man, Cole Hamels, out to the hill, and always feel good when the lefty is out there. And he's looking to bounce back from his most recent start back at Globe Life. And that was, on Sunday. He missed the entire series up in Canada against the Blue Jays. But it is a spectacular evening in Detroit as we get ready to go. Let's take a look at our Rangers starting lineup tonight, presented by Southwest Airlines. Now Rougned Odor back in that leadoff spot again at second base. Nomar Mazara and Adrian Beltre, Prince fielder Ian Desmond in the heart of things. Mitch Moreland tonight batting at sixth. Elvis Andrus, Bobby Wilson, and then Delano DeShields after a couple of nights off. Back of the starting lineup in center field, batting ninth for the Rangers.
Well, Dave, that lineup is going to face the 29-year-old right-hander Jordan Zimmermann. Off to as good a start as you could possibly be. And you talk about making a good first impression. Zimmermann signed a big free agent contract with the Tigers in the offseason. And at first blush, they love what they've gotten from this guy. He's a 3-pitch pitcher, good command of all 3 of those pitches. And he throws strikes at will. He just does not walk people. He's very aggressive in the strike zone. And the Ranger hitters have to fight fire with fire. And their aggressiveness will have to match Zimmerman's aggressiveness tonight if they are to have a chance. And again, both teams now with 3-game losing streaks, and they've got the right people. They've got their stoppers on the mound tonight. So it's going to be a battle of wills as to who gets out of this 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, the Tigers coming home from Cleveland where, man, they have just had a whale of a tough time. We look at the defense behind Zimmermann tonight, and Justin Upton in left field. Anthony goes with great speed out there in center. Mike Aviles in right field. JD Martinez getting the night off for the Tigers. Castellanos has been as good as you can get at third base. Jose Iglesias at short. Ian Kinsler, very good second baseman. Cabrera at first, and then really an exciting player, James McCann, who does the catching. And we'll get into a lot more about McCann as the night wears on. Odor ready to go, and so are we tonight from Detroit. Zimmerman gets started, and he misses with ball one.
Dave, you know it's going to be a good night. We just had a visit from Pudge Rodriguez. He's all excited. He's going to come in and join us a little later. He is bouncing around here, part of the celebration of the 10-year anniversary of the Tigers' 06 World Series team.
Odor on the second pitch of the game. Bounces out, one away, and it'll bring up Nomar Mazara. Maybe Pudge can bring some life to the bats tonight.
If you could get him in the lineup somehow, I'll guarantee you'd have a hit or two.
No doubt. Here's Nomar Mazara. Average now 333. Coming off his American League Rookie of the Month award for April. And he had a real nice series up in Toronto, 6 for 16 with a home run. And the hole here, 0-2 to Jordan Zimmerman. So 21 years old, youngest player in Major League Baseball. But you would not know it to watch him play every night. Fourth in the American League in hitting this rookie season. Pop up, might be playable on that left side. Castellanos is over, and there are two away.
Got a little more foul territory here. Not as bad as Oakland as far as hitters are concerned, but there's a good amount of foul territory from just past first and third base all around behind home plate. So, you know, hitters, well, kind of at a disadvantage in comparison to other ballparks in the modern day. Pitchers love it.
And you know, oftentimes when people talk about ballparks as being hitters' parks, pitchers' parks, they look at the outfield dimensions, but that foul territory is a big factor.
Yeah.
Ball one to Adrian Beltre, the guy we noted in the pregame could maybe put this offense on his back and get him started. And a hard smash to short, backhand stop Iglesias. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Zimmerman. Sharp in the top of the first. See what Cole Hamels can do with his chance. And now we'll see what the Tigers run out there tonight offensively. Ian Kinsler off to a good start this year. Batting leadoff at second base. Mike Aviles, Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez switch hitting DH. Justin Upton's hot lately. Nick Castellanos, top hitter in the American League. And James McCann, Anthony Gose, and Jose Iglesias, the shortstop, rounding it out.
Brad Ausmus lineup facing Cole Hamels, who's making his 6th start. 3-0, so he still has that win streak going. 10 consecutive winning decisions for Hamels. Cole probably his least well-pitched game last time out as he came back off that groin muscle injury. 3.30 ERA overall, 2.52 the average, and that's gone up considering last time out he didn't fare very well, giving up 5 hits in 6 2/3.
Misses up to Kinsler. It's 1-1. Decent numbers against Hamels in his career. The former Ranger enjoying some success here in Detroit. And it's 2-1. He's done a good job in that leadoff spot for them this year. Got not gotten in. 22 runs scored. And it's this one out toward Mazzara on the run, and that's just too shallow. Drops in. So lead man on for the Tigers. Take a look at the Rangers defense tonight. Presented by the Texas Department of Transportation. Well, Mazzara just short of that one out in right field. Delano DeShields back in center. Ian Desmond over in left. On the infield, Beltre and Andrus on the left side. Odor and Moreland, per usual, on the right. And Bobby Wilson with his 2nd start in 3 days behind the plate. Aviles looking bunt, but takes strike 1. Aviles getting the start tonight in right field. You see, hasn't had a whole lot of action in this first month and change of the season. But JD Martinez is in a bit of a slump. And so Brad Ausmus today said he just wanted to give him a mental break. A lot of right-handed hitters in the lineup today against Hamels, and the dispatches of Aviles quickly and quietly for the first out tonight. There's Ausmus in his 3rd year as the manager here in Detroit, flanked by his bench coach there, Dean Lamont. One away, and here comes the always dangerous Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, Dave, we talked about the Toronto lineup, the challenges they present to a pitcher, especially the middle 4 people up there. And you go with Donaldson and Bautista and Encarnacion and Tulowitzki. And the Tigers present every bit as tough a middle part of their lineup. You put Kinsler at the top, and then you follow on down with Cabrera, both Martinez's usually, and Upton and Castellanos. And that is going to be a formidable challenge for no matter who faces the Tigers.
Yeah, only a matter of time before they get going and start putting up a whole lot of crooked numbers this summer. I think a lot of teams saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That refrain is echoed throughout the American League. Runner going, high pitch, and the good throw down to second, not in time. Kinsler, by the way, that's number 200 in his big league career. So a milestone stolen base for Ian Kinsler.
Yeah, Kins doesn't run nearly as much as he did as a member of the Rangers because of the power in that lineup, and they just don't want to give up the out at second base. But Ian will run now if he's pretty sure that he has a good jump. He's a little more circumspect about stealing, but pretty good percentage for him since he's been over here in Detroit.
Well, now out there in scoring position for Cabrera. And a bouncer over to first base. That'll move him up another base. But Moreland will take it to the bag to retire Cabrera, and there are 2 away. Kinsler now just 90 feet away. So nice for Kinsler, I guess, in this first inning. He's able to move around the bases, catch up with everybody, exchange pleasantries.
Yeah, I got to say hi to everybody. He's gone from first to second to third, talking people's ears off. Adrian, the latest to hear about him. Ian, a very popular Ranger in the clubhouse and with the fans for the most part too. It's good to see him doing well up here in Toronto, in Detroit, and he has done an excellent job with the Tigers since he came over.
He's down there at third base now, and Victor Martinez, switch hitter, about right-handed tonight against Hamels. It's 0-1. 6-game hitting streak for Martinez. And overall, the numbers very good per usual. He's a terrific hitter. Third in the American League with that .337 average. One strike pitch. And Hamels has done a real good job of getting ahead of everybody.
Yeah, and David, it's very interesting to me to watch this unfold tonight in the first inning. Both teams have come out swinging early in the count. They don't want either Hamels or Zimmerman to get ahead so they can work their off pitches. So you see them going up there, the first good thing they see, first good pitch they see, they're going to have a hack at it.
1-2.
Both pitchers, for the most part, have exceptional command. They're going to be around the plate almost every pitch.
Big left-hander, 6'4", uncoils, and one shot foul.
One other thing you might notice about both pitchers is that they won't exclusively throw fastballs first pitch. They will. They have the confidence in the breaking ball or the changeup in Hamels' case. And they will throw that on occasion, especially when the other team shows they're going to be aggressive early in the count.
The 1-2 from Hamels. Martinez, among the things he does well as a hitter is he's pretty selective. Has a good eye and makes good contact. And this day and age of, power hitters striking out as much as they do, he's somewhat of a rarity. He'll walk a lot, doesn't strike out a ton, and hits this ball into left field, but right to Ian Desmond. So inning over. Tigers leave a man at third base, and we played one scoreless inning tonight in Motown. Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Beautiful evening tonight in Detroit, Michigan. Second inning, and former Tiger Prince Fielder stands in. Fielder 4 for 16 in Toronto. A couple of hits yesterday. It's a slow roller over to that left side, all alone over there, Castellanos. And he'll take care of Fielder for out number 1.
Something you keep an eye on tonight, the number of mishit baseballs there are off of Jordan Zimmerman. He doesn't blow you away with 98 miles an hour on the fastball or a 12-6 yellow hammer curveball, but he keeps the ball off the good part of the bat and changes speeds subtly so that hitters never really can square him up.
So Buzz, you know, when there's so many pitchers out there with so many different styles, as Desmond slashes one foul for strike one, it would seem that you would watch a guy like Zimmerman and you'd say to yourself as a pitcher, well, now, I think I could do some of that, right? I might have comparable stuff. Why don't I just do what he does? Why isn't it that easy? Why isn't that simple?
Well, you've got a couple things going. Guys come up through the minor leagues, they develop their repertoire and their abilities, and they figure, I've got to be the best I can. I've got to stick with what I do well, not pitch like I was somebody else.
Bouncer third base, way back of the bag, and Castellanos just does get it to first in time. He might be taking a look at that one in the clubhouse just to make sure.
Tough play for an umpire to call at first because the umpire is listening for the ball to impact the glove and watching for the foot to impact the bag. And when the ball skips a couple times, you don't have the real harsh pop of the glove when the ball hits it. It's kind of a poof instead of a pop. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish when that ball actually gets there.
That one may not have made any noise by the time it got there. When it came out of his hand, I thought, well, there's an infield hit, but it did skip across the turf quickly enough to get Desmond 2 away. And here's Mitch Moreland. Oh. Moreland in at 250. It seems like every night we're on that edge of the seat thinking, well, maybe this is the night for Mitch, for Ian Desmond, for Prince. That bat really gets going. Hasn't really happened yet.
Yeah, what you'd like to have, I think, Dave, is 2 or 3 of the guys from, say, the 2nd through the 7th hole get hot at the same time. And then you have a chance to do some things. And Mitch has really been swinging the bat pretty well. Hasn't had a lot to show for it, but that's a good job of going the other way with Zimmerman.
And you got that shift and a lot of room on that left side of the diamond, and Moreland pokes it right through.
Zimmerman trying to come in with that curveball that time, a little softer pitch than his hard slider. Said thank you very much. He's on with 2 outs. So much for the no-hitter idea that Zimmerman had going.
He only got the first 5, but Moreland on with a clean hit in the 2nd. And here's Elvis Andrus. Been a struggle lately for Elvis. 1 for 12 in Toronto. And with it, the average has dropped down to 293. Now, still a good number. You'd be happy with that, generally speaking. He did his damage early. And hits this one hard to the gap right center. That gets down and splits the outfielders. Good start for Moreland from first. Spike Owen waves him. Here comes the throw, and Moreland's in there. Elvis, meanwhile, the third, and it's 1-0 Rangers in the 2nd inning.
Now the Tigers paid the price for having Aviles in right field playing shallow. Against Elvis, we've seen a lot of teams go to that kind of a defensive alignment. And Elvis hit that ball sharply enough that he got it by Aviles. And once he did, Anthony Ghost was able to run it down, but he had to slide to make sure it didn't go all the way to the wall. That gave Mitch Moreland enough of an opportunity to get all the way from first and score on that double. Well, there's some 2-out magic for you.
Absolutely. Double, and then third base on the throw. This one popped up by Wilson for strike 1.
It's chugging it right on around there. Good job by Moreland.
Over to that backside of the plate. Plenty of room to get in. So a 1-0 start for the Rangers. And it's 1-1 on Bobby Wilson. Bobby rejoined the Rangers on Wednesday, made the start Wednesday night. 1 for 3 with a walk. And now facing his old club. He was just with him less than a week ago. 1-2. Brad Ausmus today was asked on a number of occasions about the fact that the Rangers now have 2 catchers on their 25-man roster who were with the Tigers.
Yeah.
And what challenges that poses tonight for him. He said, well, we've had to blow up all of our signs from dugout out to third to the hitters, everybody, the pitchers and catchers, everything had to be shaken up to account for the fact that there's a lot of institutional knowledge now that's in that other dugout. Wilson fights that one off. It stays 2-2.
Yeah, I would think that catchers are probably the most aware of the various signs, both defensively and pitch calling, obviously. But from the manager out to the infielders and catcher for defensive alignments, whether they're going to throw through on a steal and things like that.
Osmus, the follow-up question was asked. I mean, is that tough for the ball players to learn these new signs? Do you anticipate some problems with guys maybe communicating, misunderstanding? He said, well, the guys miss signs and misunderstand signs all the time anyway. So we're pretty much in the same boat.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Wilson. He's doing some good battle up there with Zimmerman. Bobby was with the Rangers in spring training, ended up not making the club, being traded, and ended up with the Tigers and was really disappointed. And he hooks this one into left field, a base hit. That'll get Andrews home, and it's 2-0 Rangers. That's a big time at bat.
Yeah, good job by Bobby Boy. He's really protecting the plate. He became a tough 2-strike hitter. And as you mentioned, Dave, just reaching out, poking and hooking that into left field for the base hit. Good job getting that run home. A big run, too. You're happy with one, but you hate to settle for it when you have an opportunity for more. And Bobby made sure that didn't happen.
Well, given what we know about Jordan Zimmerman, he'd given up 2 earned runs this year. He's given up 2 this inning. So that qualifies as a real good start to this game for the Rangers as Delano DeShields takes strike 1.
The Rangers look at it like it's a new month. Maybe Zimmerman is fallible in May, if you want to call 2 runs fallible. I do.
Absolutely. 1-1 to Delano. He's had the last 2 nights off. Back in the lineup today, batting 9th. And in center field, and hopes that maybe a little break from the grind sometimes can allow a guy to get right again. 1-2 on Delano. Couple of ground outs. Fielder and Desmond, but then Moreland with a base hit, Andrews with a double, and Bobby Wilson with a great at bat and an RBI single. But DeShields down swinging, and it ends the top of the 2nd inning. Rangers pick up 2 runs though, and they've got the early lead tonight.
Tigers come to bat in the second inning. We've been looking forward to this pitching matchup between Cole Hamels and Jordan Zimmermann for almost a week now. But Cole, since he's in the American League, hasn't necessarily been looking forward to the matchup.
You really don't. I think in the American League, I think you could care less. But the National League, it's a huge factor. So, especially if you're going up against a guy like Bumgarner who can hit home runs off you. Here you're pitching, and you're pitching against an offense, and that is something that you're more focused on. I don't think you really look over and see who you're pitching against. So it is different. It really is.
And now you're pitching against an offense with a 2-0 lead. So that's a good thing, guys. Back up to you.
A very good point. Absolutely a good thing. And a good start to this one tonight for Hamels and the Rangers. Leading 2-0. Justin Upton leading off the second inning for the Tigers, and he started to heat it up a little bit. 1-2 the count. Upton at .252 for the year, but on a 7-game hitting streak. Hamels was in attack mode in the first inning. 17 pitches thrown in his first inning, 12 of them for strikes. So that's a ratio that will make anybody happy. He jumped ahead of Upton 1-2 for a pitch to put him away here. Then hits it hard into right field, but Mazzara in a couple of steps, and there's one out. National League combatants over the years, Hamels and Zimmermann, and now going head-to-head in the American League for the first time. Well, of the various hitters in this Tigers lineup, the casual fan, the fan who knows almost nothing about baseball, knows Miguel Cabrera, probably know Upton and either, maybe both of the Martinez's in this lineup. This name, Nick Castellanos, would slip by most folks. But he's leading the American League with a .383 average, 5 homers, 22 driven in, and on an 8-game hitting streak. A lot of folks who aren't aware of him now, they will be eventually. Fly ball right field, and again, Mazzara will put the squeeze on. Hey, the Chicago White Sox take on the Rangers this Tuesday. First 20,000 fans of the game on May 10th will receive an MLB Network Rangers AL West Champs tote bag. Visit TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS to get your tickets today. Now James McCann. Strong right-handed hitter. Whoa. A terrific young catcher. McCann's just 25 years old. Originally a second-round pick for the Tigers out of the University of Arkansas. And boy, last year his first full year in the big leagues, and I think he established himself as one of the bright young catching, I don't want to say prospects, because he's going to be an everyday guy for a long time. He lines this one toward left, and a tough play for Ian Desmond. The defense there again in the second inning through 2. It's the Rangers by 2. 2-0. Rangers with the lead. Top of the order coming up, and we're so excited today. We've got the big man in the booth today, Pudge Rodriguez. Pudge, welcome. Good to see you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. We are in Detroit.
Yeah,
Wow.
we are in Detroit. Yeah, I told you he was going to show up. That's good. We got him off the golf course. He's out tearing Oakland Hills apart.
It was a great day.
Yeah.
Good golf course.
Folks around here said it's the best day they've had weather-wise for the whole spring.
Yeah, they
beautiful.
I got a lot of friends here, and they told me last week was very bad. Rain, windy, cold. But they're not good. Great day to the course.
Well, you bring sunshine with you wherever you go, Pudge. And
that's nice from you.
Right? Look at you.
Wow.
Now, listen, you're here though. You're here as part of the year-long celebration. I guess they're having for that 016. Pop up down the right field line. Yeah, nice play by Aviles to track that down in foul territory.
Great play.
So what the heck are you doing?
Well, today I was talking to the media, and we're celebrating the 10 years of the 2006 World Series. And, I heard that tomorrow is going to be couple of the guys, not playing. They're going to be here tomorrow. And it's going to be fun. Can't wait to see those guys. Who's going to be in shape, who's not.
Hey, that team, that 06 team, that was that was Verlander's rookie year. You got a chance to you kind of developed him, right? Yeah. I would give you all the credit for him becoming what he has become. But no, he was a big part of that team once he got going. Huh?
Well, when he got here, he is already good. The first time I caught him, I knew that he's going to be great because his fastball was tremendous. He was, 100 miles an hour, and 100 miles an hour strikes, and not even in the middle of the plate. He can work the corners, but, when you have a kid like that, so young, that came in and have 4 quality pitches, you got a great fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup, and be able to dominate, that quick in his career was pretty good.
Beltre at the plate with 2 out here in the 3rd inning.
Even Verlander, all the 5 guys that we got, it was great. Kenny Rogers, Verlander. We have unbelievable. One of the reasons that we make it that long is because all the pitchers stay very healthy.
All right, it's a 1-2-3. Top of the 3rd inning. We'll keep Pudge with us as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Rangers lead 2-0. Third inning. Great to be with you tonight. The pitchers duel, Cole Hamels, Jordan Zimmermann, in the opening game of this 3-game series. I'm Dave Raymond with Steve Busby and Pudge with us tonight. up in the booth here in Detroit. We got him out of the studio. Dana let you go for a night. Jeez.
No, I'm missing Dana. Dana, hello. I'm missing all of them. Mac, Dana, all the guys. I love missing the studio. It's a little boy.
So does it feel good to be back? You bring back a lot of memories to be back here in Detroit?
Absolutely, yes. You know, great fans, you know, support the team all year round. You know, this is one of the, you know, good places, you know, to come watch and play baseball right here, you know. The atmosphere of, you know, on the field, you know, when you in there, you know, you can see the field, you know, is so open and you see the fans right there with you. And, you know, it's great, you know, see the background of the, you know, downtown in the back. It's a great place to play baseball.
When you came here, I remember when you signed in the winter prior to the 04 season. I remember where I was. I remember hearing that news because I want to say Detroit was coming off 119 losses the year before.
Yeah.
And I thought, what? Pudge?
Well,
what's he going to Detroit for?
That's a good question from you, but yes, it was. You know, my family and friends, you know, they tell me, "What are you doing? You know, are you okay? Are you thinking right?" Coming from a World Series, you know, team,
right.
World Series champs team, and to come to the worst record team the same year that you win, and but you know, I make the decision because Mr. Illich and Dave Dombrowski brought me in, and they told me that they're going to put a good team around me, and basically they did that. You know, after I signed, you know, Verlander came in, the Cole Verlander, you know, from AA to the big leagues, and then they brought Mike Ordonez,
Right.
you know, Carlos Guillen, Polanco later in the year, and then we become a great team. But I think all started from, you know, from the chemistry that we have on the clubhouse. You know, we have Alan Trammell, you know, as a manager, and he brought some a lot of veteran, you know, to the team, presence to the team, and we take the charge and we follow him with you know, with the thing that he told us to do.
Always loved Alan Trammell. I've always thought great baseball man, and he was a fun guy to play for.
Yeah, it was Trammell, Kirk Gibson, Juan Samuel was part of that coaching staff, and you know, those three guys, you know, as we know, those guys was serious gamers.
Hard-nosed baseball players.
Yes, very hard players. You know, cannot take anything for granted, and
Yep.
obviously, when you have three coaches like that, you have to follow everything they said.
Moving from, you mentioned the couple years before that in Miami, winning the World Series, coming up to Detroit. Difference, a different kind of atmosphere, a different kind of accomplishment. Which one are you more proud of?
Well, I think it was different because in Miami was the youngest team, you know, more young.
Uh-huh.
You know, I worked with a very young pitching staff.
Right.
You know, you're talking about Brad Penny, Josh Beckett, you know, all those guys, very young. And it was a little different ball club, you know, starting spring training, be able to get there. And I was the only player that signed at the free agency that year in '03, and you know, and be welcome to the team the way that they received me at the time. It was very good, and you know, we start the season a little struggling, but when the season goes along, we just start to clicking great as a team, and the pitching staffs, you know, start to pitch, start throwing the ball the way that they can go and throw. And but as far as, you know, between, you know, Tigers and Florida, you know, it's different. You know, this, you know, when I got here, and Dimitri Young, a little veteran guys here at the ball club, which is, you know, it was a little different. Because they already play hard, they already have a team going, even though that they lost that many games that year. But that team stayed a couple of years later with us, and we be able to be in the World Series with guys like Dimitri and the guy that was here when they lost 115 games.
So Pudge, not to put you kind of in the studio mentality, but to ask you a question about this Rangers club. You know, it was a tough series up in Toronto.
Right.
We just feel like this offense is, at some point, it's going to all fall together, going to start clicking again.
Right.
You've been in those situations, no doubt, where, you know, scuffles have happened. What does it take? What usually is the key to that getting going?
Well, you know, as you guys know, I've been saying that in every pre and post games that I've been working at the team. But you know, they're going to hit. I mean, these guys are going to hit the ball, and they're great hitters. But that's why there's 162 games.
Yeah.
You have to keep playing hard every day. You have to keep grinding and play hard, and they're going to change. You know, they've been facing great pitching. You know, I think they all started from Chicago. You know, when they're facing a pitching staff they lead in the league at the time when they went to Chicago, and then you know they have a great homestand, and then they went to Detroit. And hey, you know you have to admit it sometimes that Toronto. You have to admit it that Toronto teams always hit good at their ballpark. You know, they're a power hitter, and they're going to be fun. But as a hitter, you know you got to keep fighting, keep swinging the bat, and you know. And that's why you have 600 at-bats for a year. You know, you have 600 at-bats. Think about this. That's 600 at-bats. And you have 200 hits. That's 333 batting average. But how many times you have? 400. And you can have an MVP season being 400 times out. So that tells you that don't worry about it. They're going to hit.
Well, Pudge, if we could just get 300 at-bats out of you this year, I'd feel great.
You know what? I'm so good what I am right now. Right here, I'm very good.
You are indeed.
Man, I'm okay. I did enough.
I'm
good.
You did.
Hey,
Keep me at the booth. Keep me here. Keep me doing pre and post game. Keep me working with you guys. There's nothing better than that.
We're the ones that are lucky to have you.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, listen, great to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for stopping in and spending
All
a little
right.
time with us. Go sign some
Thank you.
autographs.
Enjoy the
Boss.
weekend.
All right.
Have fun.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, there you go. Pudge Rodriguez joining us in the booth here in Detroit. 2-0 Rangers leading the Tigers. And the fourth inning will start with Prince Fielder. And who knows, maybe, as Pudge was saying, it will happen. There's plenty of at-bats.
Yep.
Maybe it starts right here.
Yep.
Fielder 0 for 1. Grounded out of the second inning. Now, always great to see Pudge. I asked Brad Ausmus this afternoon about Pudge. Those two played against one another quite a bit over the years. Both of them shared Detroit as a common, well, and Houston, right, as common teams over the years. And he didn't hesitate, didn't flinch. Oh, the best there was. There's just not even a question. Defensively, offensively, so he could run, obviously. And that was the thing about Pudge. You talk about a complete game for a catcher. Hard pressed to come up with anybody else who could do everything he did so well.
Yeah, you went from the bench generation. The benchmark was bench in that generation. Pudge said it for the next generation. It's to me, it's quite simple. You pass the torch from bench to Pudge, and now we'll go on and maybe the next one down the road. But yeah, Pudge, I can still remember that he broke into the major leagues in Chicago playing the White Sox. Whoa!
Okay.
And, well, he hurt his ankle this about 2 weeks, boy. He was trying to hurt his head, it looked like. My goodness, fortunately, he's okay.
He's there. He's there. Disappears. I like that effort, though.
And that is concrete. That whole dugout there is concrete. If you fall on your head there, you're gonna feel it. But I can still remember. Him breaking in Chicago and him throwing out. I think it was Joey Cora a couple of times in that ball game. And it looked like somebody took a golf ball and hit it with a driver going down to second base when he threw it. Just a frozen rope down there. We'd heard a lot about him. I think, you hear a lot about young players coming up. He was the real deal plus.
Fielder fouls one back right at us. Count stays 0-2. Let's see, when he came up, 19 years old.
Yep. 91.
Played 21 years in the big leagues. And you know, the thing is, over 300 homers, the stolen bases. Fielder bounces it right into that shift. Kinsler is there and puts him away for the first out of the 4th inning. When I asked Ausmus, though, what stood out to him, because again, most catchers don't put up the offensive numbers that Pudge put up.
Right.
And still, especially, still be a great defensive catcher. And Ausmus was a fantastic defensive catcher. But he said the thing that stood out most was the throwing, which is somewhat remarkable given all the other numbers. And I think puts in perspective just how good he was at every single aspect.
Yeah, you can make a very strong case, and people that have seen a lot of catchers through the years have told me the same thing. He was the best throwing catcher that anybody has ever seen, including Bench. And I don't doubt that. Pretty good stuff.
Desmond slicing one down into that right field corner, and he has a 1-out double in the 4th. His double now precedes the 3 batters who strung together 3 consecutive hits to score runs in the 2nd.
Ian Desmond going after his former teammate. That would be Jordan Zimmerman over there with the Washington Nationals. Good job of hitting by Desmond. Zimmerman, I'm sure, would have liked to have had that pitch down a little bit more. He knows Ian Desmond very well as a strong fastball hitter to all fields. He needed to keep that ball down, and he wasn't able to.
4 Rangers hits tonight, leading 2-0. Moreland Asphorn is given time by Larry Vanover. Plate umpire and crew chief tonight. Well, with a runner at second base now, he'll have quite the dramatic shift on Moreland as he had when he was up in the 2nd. Vanover, and then we'll see Marquez behind the plate tomorrow. Scuccione will be behind the dish on Sunday. David Rackley, the 4th umpire in this crew. Moreland took advantage of that dramatic shift in the 2nd and just punched one out into a whole lot of green grass in left field for the first hit of the game. You can see not a straight up traditional look on the infield. Not quite as dramatic as you typically see for him.
Yeah, that number 2, that last pitch that Zimmerman threw, he got away with it because he was trying to go in. And that pitch was up and away, and Mitch had a pretty good hack at it. That would have defeated the shift again because Mitch would have taken that pitch much like he did the first time, right through that shortstop hole. So see, for the young pitchers, every time you make a mistake, it doesn't get hit on the ballpark. Sometimes, but not every time.
Zimmerman with that long look at Desmond. It's 3-1 now to Mitch. Well, you're right, not every mistake gets hit, but talking to hitters, a lot of really good hitters I've asked over the years about hitting. They say the only thing you ever hit is a mistake. You almost never hit a guy's good, you know, if he makes a good pitch, he wins.
No, I don't think that's
You don't
totally
think
true.
so?
No. No, speaking from experience, I know that's not true.
full count now
No,
on Moreland.
I would agree not many home runs are hit on good pitches. But I've seen a lot of base hits spoil really good pitches, especially in bad situations where you don't want it as a pitcher to have that happen.
So the worst time possible.
Yeah, exactly. Like the doomsday. No, but you know, growing up, and I tell young guys that I work with in pitching, you grow up and you watch SportsCenter your whole life, and all you see are hanging breaking balls hit out of the ballpark at 600 feet. So you start to assume that every time you make a mistake in the middle of the plate, it's going to end up in the next county, and that's just not true. You can't live with that fear. You don't want to make mistakes, but every one you make isn't going to turn out extremely bad.
Marlin continuing to do battle here with Zimmerman, the 3-2. And he got a piece of that to stay alive. And that's one thing they've done well early on here is the Rangers have fought off some decent pitches and kept at bats going.
Yep.
Maybe none greater than Bobby Wilson.
Right.
Bat in the second.
Turned that into an RBI base hit.
That'll put a smile on the skipper's face. Matters some wise comment down in the dugout. One of the two. Oh, Moreland sees another one here. He's seen a lot of pitches in his 2 at-bats. Zimmerman, you see up over 50 pitches already, toiling in this 4th inning. A guy who has been as sharp as anyone in the American League these first 6 weeks now. Came in with a .055 earned run average. That has gone up. 3-2. Oh, and called strike 3. Moreland thought he had a free base. And it was a bit of a delayed call there by Vanover. It almost looked as if part of his strike call was a reaction to Moreland.
Yeah, he was waiting to make sure that he got the call right in his mind. And Mitch has reason, I think, to be a little upset with that pitch. It's off the plate inside, according to our steel pitch track. But that's a pretty good pitcher's pitch. And that might have been a case of Jordan Zimmerman's reputation getting that call. Now, I'm not going to say umpires do that, but sometimes they can be subconsciously influenced by the guy on the mound.
You never got.
You're right, I never did. I never had an 0.55 ERA either. Maybe in my dreams.
There's Andrews, who split right fielder Aviles and center fielder Anthony Gose in the 2nd inning for a double. And it's 1-1. Were you, politically minded with some of the umpires? I know some guys can, the way you handle umpires can help over time.
Yeah, it was a different time then, Dave, in that there was a lot more respect given and received, players and umpires. There was a mutual respect that I think you nurtured. You were expected to respect the umpires. They expected it, and certainly your manager and everybody you came up with in the minor leagues expected that to happen. As far as turning around and jawing with an umpire openly, that didn't happen. But that respect, I think, led to a little different relationship.
Saw some really good numbers there for Elvis Andrews, our TXU Energy power player to watch. He has been so good, so productive in these spots. Desmond out there at second base, but 2 out in the inning. Good hitters count here, 3-1. And Andrews pops it up. That could be a tough play out there to shallow left field, but the shortstop Iglesias runs it down and the inning is over. Rangers leave a man at scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Mazda. In every car we make, you'll see why driving matters. Last of the fourth inning in Detroit. And so far, Cole Hamels, very good. A leadoff single to Ian Kinsler. And since then, has retired 9 straight. Mike Aviles leading off in this fourth inning. Former Cleveland Indian, a utility infielder and utility player really for the Indians. They used him all over. Today getting a start in right field for the Tigers, and he is 0 for 1. Hamels struck him out on 3 pitches in the first inning, and he might be on course to do that again.
He saw 3 different pitches the first time up. He's seen 2 different pitches this time. So
0-2. And indeed, he got him.
He got all 3 of them again.
So
just in a different order.
6 strikes. Time to send it back to Dana Larson in the studio for a Chevy game break. All right, thanks, Dana. 1-0 to Miguel Cabrera now. Boy, Buzz, Hamels really looking the part tonight of that shutdown guy.
Yeah, he wasn't really happy with his outing last time that he went out there. It felt like he was a little rusty, making mistakes both mentally and physically in his game, and he just won't tolerate that. He's such a perfectionist that he worked very diligently between starts in his bullpens, and he's taken a little extra added incentive out there to the mound, if you will. And he always has something, you know, when Cole's right, like he is tonight, he always has something the second time around the lineup that he didn't show him the first time around. With Aviles, for example, it was the selection of pitches, the sequencing of his pitches. Same stuff, same pitches, but just the sequencing, and then he'll show you a little different location the second time through, and that's what good pitchers do. They change up with what they have. They all have the ability to manipulate the counts in their favor.
Gotten back into this one with that good fastball there. 3-1 to Cabrera. And wow, where did that one miss? A tough one right there. Tickets for groups of 20 or more. They start at only $12 and offer savings of nearly 50%. Group pricing is available in 9 different seating areas, plus the all-inclusive and newly renovated Cholula all-you-can-eat seats. Learn more about the group savings offered for every Rangers game at texasrangers.com/group. Well, he lost Cabrera on ball 4 there on a pitch that Box Track clearly showed in the zone. It's a frustrating one, as now he deals with Victor Martinez and gets strike 1.
And after the walk, Bobby Wilson was talking to Larry Vanover without turning around. He was in his crouch, but Vanover was leaning over his inside shoulder. They were having a conversation. I'm sure Bobby was reminding Vanover that just because I set the target inside or on the inside part of the plate, that doesn't change the strike zone. We still should get a call when it's away. And most umpires, I think, if they're realistic about it, say, I won't give you a call on a pitch that misses by the full width of the plate from where your target is. Set the target inside and you throw a strike outside, you're not getting it for the most part. Especially when it's Miguel Cabrera hitting, even though it's Cole Hamels pitching.
1-1 to Martinez, and this one is shot down the line but foul. Strike 2. Just the one hit so far tonight off Hamels. And then moments ago, that walk to Cabrera. This guy, though, Martinez, a dangerous hitter. This is an offense for the last couple of years, you know, they put up some pretty big numbers year after year. Well, bouncer should be 2. Odor to second. And they'll just settle for the 1 out. I'm confused what happened there.
Well, Elvis was playing over in the hole almost a little bit, and he had a long way to go to get there. And he assumed that that wasn't going to work. So he's way over there in the hole, and Rugdad got it. And if Odor could have taken it to the bag himself, they probably would have turned it. But Elvis just had too far to go to get to the bag to receive the throw.
Even still, with Martinez running, it looked like he might have had a shot. He and Odor continuing to have that conversation. With the 1 out. And now Justin Upton. Upton flied out in the 2nd inning. Comes in hitting .252. Average down just a touch with that fly ball out. A 3-time All-Star. Oh. That one apparently just a bit low. It's 1-1. Upton, though, riding a hitting streak for these Tigers. 7 games for him. And right now, folks here in Detroit, they're looking for any sign that this offense is really going to start clicking again. And that's one of the signs they pointed to. Hey, look, Upton's getting going a little bit. The guy behind him has really had it going all year. 1-2 now to the Tigers left fielder. Castellanos leading the American League in hitting.
I think that kind of a question would have stumped most folks on a trivia question. Who's leading the American League in hitting?
There's a swing and a miss. Upton down on strikes. Couple of punch outs in the inning for Hamels. Working with a 2-0 lead.
Right as we welcome you back to Michigan. And Dave and Buzz, I know you guys have the day off tomorrow, so I have your recommendation for lunch. It's a place called Sapino's Pizza. It's just in the Eastern Market. It's just off downtown. Let me show you what the pizza looks like that I had there for lunch today. That is the Motor City wing thing. It's got, believe it or not, smoked turkey on it, and it's got beautiful Gouda cheese and mozzarella, and then a whole bunch of veggies that make it taste like a plate full of buffalo wings, believe it or not. It's delicious, it's awesome, and of course you gotta wash something like that down, right? You gotta cleanse the palate, if you will, so that right there is a cannoli. Are you kidding me? It's loaded with pistachios and chocolate sauce, and there you see the blast out into center field by Bobby Wilson. The cannoli, delicious, a good way to cleanse your palate. And then, you know, my favorite part of the lunch, since I'm back here in my home, was that I got to have it with my dad. So we all enjoyed it. We had some pizza, we had a cannoli, and you know, You guys don't get to eat with my dad, but I'm recommending Sapinos, guys.
Way to go, Johnny. Look at that. Dad's looking great, by the way.
That was nice of him to come up with that low-cal fare for us. We could know where to go and maintain our
Buzz, we'll have that down by the first inning, and then we'll be asleep in the third. I mean, that is, wow. Good job, Johnny. That's a big day. You know, considering we didn't get in until, I don't know, I think I was in bed when maybe 2:30, something like that. Get up, get yourself a big meal.
Sure.
Radigan. It's a gamer. One out here in the 5th inning after the Wilson fly out, and Delino struck out in the 2nd, but is ahead here 2-1 on Jordan Zimmerman. Shields is actually, I think his last handful of games, the numbers look pretty good. Overall, they're not where he wants it, 236, but 5 for 16 in the last 5 games. Puts this one high in the air, out into short right field, and handled by Avila's charging in, 2 away. Back to the top of the order we go. Now the Rangers will be playing the Toronto Blue Jays on Saturday, May 14th. First 15,000 fans at the park receive a Rougned Odor bobblehead, courtesy of Dr. Pepper and Kroger. Go to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS to purchase your tickets today. And be sure to wear your red to red out the ballpark. Rangers owe those hosers a little something next time they come to town.
The Blue Jays again?
Yeah.
Just
every time you think you've done with them. 2 out. And Odor hammers one deep right field, carrying well and gone. A mammoth home run. And Odor makes it 3-0 Rangers.
well, Rougned Odor saw his favorite pitch, and his eyes had to get the size of saucers. See that thing up there, right up in his wheelhouse, about a letter high. And boy, he really gave that a ride. And Odor, don't let his size fool you. He's not tall in stature, but he is a strong young man. Watch where this thing is, and he touches it off. Boom. Just above belt high. See you later. He can go deep with the best of them. Hit that ball a long way.
Yes, he did. Now a little higher on the first pitch to Nomar Mazara. He knew it.
Yep. He has learned well. He dropped the bat, put his head down, and ran. Well, this is out here in big man's territory. 425 feet. It alights from its flight.
That's a shot. 3-0 now to Nomar. Boy, baseball's a funny game. Rangers have struggled on the road. They have struggled offensively. They come to Detroit to face the pitcher of the month. And Zimmerman has not been, well, at least he hasn't lived up to the numbers he put up in his first 5 starts. He'd only given up 4 total runs, 2 earned in his 5 previous starts, but Rangers have gotten to him for 3 so far tonight.
You know, I think, Dave, you go back to the run they pushed across, the 2 runs they pushed across in the second. All the damage done with 2 outs, and I think that really gave the offense kind of a boost that they were looking for. Say, hey, we can get to this guy. We can string some hits together. Now let's battle him here and see if we can get some more on the board.
Taking a look at the Ford leaderboard. Now look at these highest averages versus an opponent since 2010, so the last 6 years. And Adrian Beltre, one of those guys who has just terrorized the Tigers. Tonight 0 for 2. Grounded out in the first inning and flied out in the third. But Detroit fans, they're acutely aware of when Beltre's in town. He's dealt them many an unpleasant memory. So Zimmerman, after giving up the home run, walked Mazar, and that's another thing that is somewhat surprising or indicative of maybe a state of mind for him. He does not walk guys. Time called just before he was about to deliver.
Now Zimmerman walks about a little bit over 1 3/4 per 9 innings, but you know when they start keeping stats on you about the last time you walked back-to-back hitters, and they keep that stat on Zimmerman. It's been 129 or 130 innings or something like that now.
Well, yeah, it's been 128 starts.
Or, excuse me, starts.
804 innings. The last time he did it, he was pitching against Cole Hamels, but it was in the National League. It was the first time they do it in the American League tonight.
You couldn't have walked very many. They keep stats like that on you.
No, that is for certain, because they don't know that stat for pretty much any other pitcher.
Right. Exactly.
5 years, $110 million. And Mike Ilitch, the owner of this Tigers franchise, when they signed him this offseason, he said, look, I'm old, I got a lot of money, and I'm tired of waiting. Let's win one. Beltre pops this one out. And heading out into right field, Kinsler, and he'll handle it to win the inning. But the Rangers add to their lead. Rougned Odor with 2 out sends this one into orbit. 3-0 Rangers. Family Pack offers savings of up to 50% on tickets, food, kids zone access, souvenir programs, and Coke soft drinks. Family Pack is an ideal way to catch the Rangers when they play the White Sox this Monday through Wednesday. Go to TexasRangers.com/specials to get your Coca-Cola Family Pack today. Well, so far, this one has been as planned for the Rangers, leading 3-0 to the bottom of the 5th inning. Cole Hamels has been in control. Lefty's 1-strike pitch to Castellanos finds the corner, and it's 0-2. Having to fly out to right field in the 2nd inning. Castellanos, a guy also on a hitting streak, 8 games for him. Guy who all the way through the minor league system, it seemed like every stop was the Texas League Hitter of the Year, the Pacific Coast League Hitter of the Year. Where he went, he was the guy who really stuck out. And they knew he would hit in the big leagues. They didn't know exactly when, how long it would take. But suffice to say, he is communicating with his bat that, yeah, he can handle major league pitching as well. Hear that, up from 255 last year. No, it's still early. That is a pretty big jump, 128 points to the average. Just 24 years old. 2-2. Got him swinging, and there's one away in the 5th inning. Well, time now to send it back to Dana Larson, back in the studio. She has a Chevy game break. Thanks, Dana. Back here, a 3-0 Rangers lead as James McCann steps in. Hamels missing at 93 there. I think I should go back and double check this, but his velocity's been up a little bit higher than that tonight. A little pop on that fastball. 1-1 now to McCann.
Yeah, he's been pitching at 91, 92, and every once in a while you see him pop it up to 94, and a good 16-mile-an-hour variation too between the curveball and his best fastball. And that's a real good area to pitch in for Cole Hamels, for anybody. But with Cole, when he starts changing speeds with the fastball so that it varies 3, 4, 5 miles an hour, and then has command of the curveball to drop it at any time, he's going to present a real big challenge.
He's ahead of McCann here, 1-2. And he will stay 1-2. And we've talked a little bit on this trip about that speed differential, right? From your hard stuff to your soft stuff. You got to keep guys off balance. What is that? What is the ideal number? You know, it's got to be at least what, like 8 miles per hour? Is there a number there you look for?
Well, no, because it turns out to be what the hitter perceives your velocity to be. You know, if your changeup looks a lot slower than what the actual gun would read, that's what's important. If it comes out of your hand such that a hitter, you know, really thinks it's a lot slower than the fastball, then you've got the right speed. But you like to have a variation between your fastest fastball and your slowest breaking ball or changeup, where Cole is, about 15, 16 miles an hour. That seems to be manageable, and on that one, McCann was swinging before it ever got to the plate. So that's what his perceived velocity was. He was swinging at perceived velocity, and the ball wasn't quite there yet. That makes a pitching coach and a manager feel pretty good when your pitcher's doing that.
Pitching coach can relax a little. Yeah. Doug Brocale rather enjoy this evening. Didn't see a whole lot of that last night. Chuckling and smiling on the bench. A 3-0 lead. 6 strikeouts so far for Hamels. Anthony goes. A whole 0-2. A 2.08 average for this speedy center fielder. Their challenge is to get him on base. And once he gets on base, he's dangerous. This guy has great speed. But he strikes out swinging, and Hamels strikes out the side in order in the 5th. Off to the 6th we go. This one all Rangers. It's time for the Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic. Jackpot tonight, $2,600. Dinner for two at a Sonic drive-in. So if a Ranger hits a homer this inning, Don Vincent of Burleson, Texas, will win $2,600. Now, if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Don wins $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant.
That's what my watch says, too. Sonic Slam time.
Yeah.
And time for a winner, as a matter of fact. We haven't had a winner in a while.
Well, a couple of opportunities this inning for Don, because it'll be Prince Fielder, Ian Desmond, and Mitch Moreland. Breaking ball gets Fielder swinging to start this at bat in the sixth. Prince 0 for 2. A couple of balls on the ground so far. It's a ball and a strike. Hey, look, there's Cecil. Digging one out over at first. It's his dad. Prince, when Prince was just a little fella, he used to come to Tiger Stadium, take batting practice, and he hit some moonshots that let everyone know, yep, he's probably got a little bit of what his daddy had.
12 years old, going into the upper deck.
That's insane.
That is. Yeah, it is. Well, there's a lot to be said for DNA.
I think you're onto something.
There's some thump in those jeans.
2-2. Fielder pops it up. It's a long run for Castellanos, but he'll get there. And here's our first out of the sixth inning.
Well, a tough time of the night, too. Castellanos very careful going after that pop fly, that he didn't take his eyes off the ball, because it's dusk, twilight, if you will, and that ball blends in with the powder blue sky now. See the kind of thing that Castellanos had to look up into. It's hard to pick that ball out if you take your eyes off it for a second.
Desmond now, and he will line one to the gap right center. A good start out of the box. He's going to dig for two. Here comes a throw, and it's not in time. That's twice on this trip we've seen him do that. Race out of the box and earn himself a double, his second of the night.
Well, the thing we know about Ian Desmond, whether he's hitting a $130 or whether he's hitting $430, is that he is going to hustle. He is going to go hard on every single play that he has a chance to, and he just willed that into a double right out of the box. He had a double on his mind, and he had the idea, as he does every time, that he's going to round first and make them make a good throw to stop him from going to second. His idea is to make every hit a double.
You know, off the bat, that was nothing automatic about it.
Nope.
Moreland takes one tight for ball one. We're talking about hard-nosed players earlier tonight, the old school style, and Desmond is definitely one of those guys who harkens back to a different era. I mean, he gets after it every pitch.
Loves to play the game. And, couldn't be any more enthusiastic about playing baseball than Ian Desmond is.
Back there in time. And he appreciates the help. The shift again for Moreland. It came down the one we saw earlier. 1-0. Zimmerman trying to keep it low. There you go. Shortstop Iglesias. Can't quite swing all the way to the other side of the bag. Not with a base runner on. Like just to pin that left side of the diamond a little more. This one popped out into left field. Upton is there. And two gone. That'll get Andrews to the plate. Elvis tonight is 1 for 2. Zimmerman had a couple of long innings early on, but pitch count relatively in check. He's at 85 in the 6th inning.
Yeah, fairly cool evening here. I don't think fatigue is going to come into play. Guys have now had 5, 6, 7 starts, so you should be able to go as long as you need to in this ballgame without worrying about the pitch count load.
Starts Elvis with a strike. Andrews doubled in a run in the 2nd inning and then scored. All of that happening with 2 out. And that Bobby Wilson at bat after his double in the 2nd inning. Turns out really kind of changed the feel of this game. 1-1. We've got a nice crowd on hand tonight here at Comerica. Really a beautiful venue. Great ballpark. And they've enjoyed some success in recent years here in Detroit. 4 straight division titles. Of course, they've had many decorated stars of the game. Guys like Cabrera won a couple of MVPs. As good a hitter as there is in the game right there. 1-1. Ball 2 to Elvis.
A 4-time American League batting champion. That goes a long way to making you a superstar.
Puts him in some really cool company. Of course, this franchise, one of the original American League charters. Fly ball center field, right to Anthony Gose, and it ends the end. A 1-out double by Desmond, but nothing else doing in the 6th. Rangers leading 3-0. Fox Sports 1 tomorrow. Prince Fielder and the Rangers taking on Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers. Game 2 of this 3-game series. All the action begins at 11:30 a.m. on Fox Sports 1. You can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Kenny Albert, Tom Verducci, they'll have the call for you tomorrow on FS1. Nothing. Rangers leading here. Cole Hamels, as he had command of the strike zone tonight, starts Iglesias off with strike 1. 9th place hitter for the Tigers. could make it 0-2 on Iglesias.
Well, Cole has done a great job the second time through the order. He has struck out 4 in a row and 5 out of 7. The first 8 hitters going through this lineup the second time. So he had a little extra in his bag of tricks tonight to break out.
Stays 0-2. He has gone 0-2 on what, 8 of the 18 batters he's faced. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Iglesias struck out in the 3rd inning. The 0-2 pitch to him. He'll pop it foul again. This time about 15 rows up in the stands. Tomorrow, by the way, it'll be A.J. Griffin and Mike Pelfrey. The pitching matchup. Well, now Iglesias is just, he's just become a little bit of a pest in this event. Hamels is going to say, well, that's enough. Do that a couple of times, but knock it off. 0-2. And that one is looped to Andrews at shortstop. Nice grab by Elvis. Hey, here's tonight's Jimmy John's delivery of the game. And it is Cole Hamels over and over and over again. Lefty has had it working tonight. Seven strikeouts, 2 times through the order. There's Ian Kinsler. He missed by a lot. He missed it all, 1-0.
That's another kind of pitch. It's hard to get a called strike on that breaking ball that, by all rights, technically it is a strike at the top of the strike zone, but umpires tend not to give you that call.
Well, was busy over there at short this inning, and 2 away. The 3 runs tonight for the Rangers. 2 of them came in the 2nd inning. It was a rally that started with 2 out. Moreland and Andrews and Bobby Wilson in succession. Single, double, single. And then the other run came in the 5th inning. Rougned Odor with 2 out. He just powdered a ball out into the right field bleachers. This ball hammered foul for strike 1. But a tough night for Mike Aviles. He's now seen 7 pitches. He struck out twice and in a 0-1 hole here.
Good news is he made solid contact on that last one for him. He's got to be feeling better about himself.
8 pitches, 8 strikes.
Now he said, yeah, I finally made contact with it. I'm in the hole again, 0-2.
Struck out swinging in the 1st, did it again in the 4th. The lefty's 0-2. There you go. That's the first time that Aviles has seen a ball.
Damn it.
2-2. Aviles with a bit of a spot start tonight. We would expect to see J.D. Martinez back out there in right field tomorrow for the Tigers. He's in a scuffle. It's a full count now on Tigers' 2nd place hitter. Hamels working quickly, but loses him. So that's interesting. He so dominated him the first 2 times up. Aviles warts him for a 2-out walk. Well, our Coors Light Cold Hard back tonight, brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. How about that? 4 batting titles in a 5-year span. Cobb, Honus Wagner, Rogers Hornsby, Matt Lajoie, and then more modern era, Boggs, Carew, win, stand the man. Jeez. That's a star-studded group.
Pretty exclusive company.
Knows how to hit. They 0 for 1 with a walk. Hasn't come too easily for him this year, though. Slow start. 1-1 to count. You see by box tracks. Well, where's pitch number 1? Well, it's right underneath number 2.
That's what Cabrera was asking Larry Vanover.
How did that change so quickly from a ball to a strike? 1-2 to count. Got a 9-game hitting streak snapped last night. And even with that 9-game hitting streak, average still below 270 for the year for him. 1-2. And it's up and away.
I think the odds are pretty high that he's going to end up somewhere north of 300 again this year.
Yeah.
You could probably get one of those proposition bets in Vegas going on that. I'm pretty confident about it.
Now, if I'll just throw a number out there. Last year he had 338 to win the title. Just throw 325 out there. Would you take the overs or unders on that?
I would probably take the over on that.
Watch the beauty there for strike 3 call. Not happy about it. 8th strikeout of the night, though, for Cole Hamels. He continues to deal tonight, leading 3-0. Summary, let's go back to the 2nd inning. Elvis Andrus shoots that one to the gap. It got Moreland home all the way from first base. They take 3rd on the throw. And a great at bat. Bobby Wilson hooks this one into left field to get Elvis home. 2-0. And Odor would make it 3-0 in the 5th. Monster shot to right field. 5th homer of the year for Odor. And it's 3-0 Rangers. So Bobby Wilson will start this 7th inning, 1 for 2 tonight. Turns it foul for a strike. Then Delano Shields, and then up top again for Odor. Gordon Zimmerman stays in the game. 90 pitches for the night. Really? I mean, he's pitched a decent game.
Yep.
Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with it. Just that Hamels has pitched better. Bouncer to 3rd. Castellanos lost the diamond in time. 1 away.
When you think about it, the Rangers put 3 of their hits together, from half their hits together, for 2 runs, and the other was a home run. So other than that 4-hitter stretch, Zimmerman has been right on top of things.
But those 3 earned runs, it's been a little while since he's given up as many as 3 earned runs in a game. He'd only given up 2 earned runs in his first 5 starts. Shields takes strike 1. Delino 0 for 2. And hack it away. And working from behind again. Adds to the challenge, especially against a guy like Zimmerman. First time that Zimmerman has started against the Texas Rangers in his career, leaving him just 1 team he's never pitched against, and that would be his old team, Washington Nationals. He just missed on that one to Shields. 1-2 the count. Pretty good tempo. This one bounced up the middle, and shortstop Iglesias on top of it. 2 gone. And we invite you to head to Globe Life Park on Sunday, May 15th, and enjoy a post-game concert from Toby Mack, presented by Buckner International. The concert will follow the 2:05 game against the Toronto Blue Jays. Be sure to wear red to red out the ballpark. You can get your game tickets and a field pass to watch the concert on the field at texasrangers.com/concerts. Toby Mack on Sunday, May 15th. 2 gone, and Odor takes ball 1 from Zimmerman. Great start to this game, and also a good start to the series for the Rangers. And Odor smacks that one right under Miguel Cabrera's glove. It's a base hit into right field.
Well, Odor swinging the bat well, and if he gets a fastball anywhere near the hitting area, he's going to have a good pass at it. Second hit tonight, and he has really been swinging it.
It was one of those moments where first base plays a lot like the hot corner on the other side of the diamond. Right. Then it got on Cabrera in a hurry. Little conference on the mound as James McCann went out there to have a word with Zimmerman. McCann is some kind of catcher. Zara steps in 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Well, a toss over first base. Check in on Odor. McCann, you see, shaking off Zimmerman. So it's Zimmerman actually calling the game from out there. That was interesting. Or was he shaking him over to first? You gotta help me, Buzz. I'm not sure what I was seeing there.
Catcher will shake his head back and forth. He wants the pitcher to shake his head to make the hitter think they're going through it.
Did he shaking him off?
Yeah.
Did the pitcher shaking him off? Now, did you ever have a catcher? That seems kind of bossy. Did you ever have a catcher? You know,
well, they've got a mask on, so they're not worried about it. Not too much.
Did you ever have a catcher where you just thought, come on, take all the games. Just put the fingers down.
Oh, yeah. You talked about Buck Martinez, a Toronto broadcaster, right? I've had Buck scream out at me, go ahead and throw whatever you want to. It's not going to get to me anyway.
Odor with a lead. And Mazzara pops this one high in the air to left. Upton way over, but able to get there, and that ends the inning. A 2-out single by Odor, but he'll be left out there. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 3-0 Rangers. of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Boy, you see this one, Buzz? Garrett Richards,
Yep.
Tommy John surgery. It has gone from bad to worse in Anaheim. Altuve continuing to just prove to everybody that little guys can play this game too. And another leadoff home run for him last night against Seattle. And John Lackey, the 5th active pitcher to 2,000 strikeouts with an 11 punch-out performance today for the Cubs. Why not? Victor Martinez will start things off for the Tigers in the 7th.
It's amazing. Every time you talk to a Cub fan now, you say, hey, your Cubbies are doing well. And they say, just hang on. They've still got 3/4 of the year to go. They'll find a way to mess it up. I'm not sure that's going to be true this year.
It's sort of hard to find the flaws with them.
Yeah,
but
it sure is.
In a way, I almost hate to say this for the poor Cubs fans out there on the planet, but it'll just make that tragedy that much more dramatic. You know, it's just there's a smash foul by Martinez.
And the unsinkable Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be an interesting summer. I mean, they're just getting so much press and attention, and well deserved. What they're doing right now, most of it is unprecedented. 2-1 to Martinez. It's a full. Another evens things up here at 2-2.
Now you mentioned the Garrett Richards thing. Looking at online at MLB.com and all the sites that I read, that people are suggesting now the Angels ought to think about trading Mike Trout. Has it gotten far enough for them to have to start thinking about that? And you know, the general consensus is, yeah, they need to start thinking about that now. That's pretty drastic.
Yeah, I'd say.
And there was another suggestion that Tim Lincecum might be an idea now that Garrett Richards is out. I don't know that. Haven't seen him throw, so I don't know what he's got going. But
he threw today, and apparently threw pretty well and looked good according to reports you read.
Sure.
But I would suggest that Lincecum might have been a good idea for them, regardless of what happened with Richards. I mean, they needed pitching, period. Now they're just desperate for it. 2-2.
Damn it!
There's the full count to Martinez. Well, the next one will be number 100 tonight for Cole Hamels. 6 brilliant innings so far tonight, and his payoff to Martinez. And another one.
Cole with 65% strikes tonight. Jake Diekman loosening in that Ranger bullpen. Cole has been sharp with everything that he has taken out there with the receiver. Great to see.
3-2. Martinez making him work, and we've seen a little bit more of this in the later innings. Tigers hitters, getting a piece of a couple of good pitches, spoiling them and making him go a little deeper in count. That pitch count up. We started talking about it last night when it became evident that the Rangers were really going to need a stopper today. They just were going to be in desperate need of it, and Hamels was going to have to provide that effort, and he certainly has come through to this point. Slow bouncer short, easy play for Elvis. 1 away. Now let's go back to the studio again. Dana Larson standing by with another Chevy game break. Okay, thanks, Dana. And we noticed around here, a lot of typical members of the media party, traveling party, who are absent today. I don't know where they are. They're watching Darvish. Have eyes on him as he makes his way back. Justin Upton 0 for 2 tonight. Jumps ahead here, 2 balls, no strikes. the way, happy birthday wishes today to Kevin Harmon, the Rangers head athletic trainer. Celebrating with a baseball game in Detroit. That's how you do it. Taking care of everybody, and including Shin-Soo Choo, who's been on this trip and getting his workouts in every day, trying to get his way back. Three-one. This ball turned foul. It's a full count now on Upton. Who else? The great one, Willie Mays, turns 85 today. Say hey, kid. You know, when they had that conversation about the greatest player of all time. Right. His name comes up a lot. Yep. Hamels and Upton, a long stare down time indicated there by Vanover. Hamels wants to talk this one over with Bobby Wilson. So yeah, Willie Mays, 85 years old, and you know, he still goes to most Giants home games. Yeah. He sets up shop down in the home clubhouse, chats with the players when they come through, and all the years I was in the National League, I knew that. Sure. But you never want to go in there and bother the guy. I asked one time 2 years ago. I was able to go in and I sat with him for about an hour and a half. As Upton pops this one back at first base, Moreland at foul ground will make the play for out number 2. Let's talk about many things. In fact, so far, it was about game time. So Willie, the broadcast is going to have to go. I've got to go. Turns out we were headed back in that summer on the All-Star break. I said, we're coming back later this summer. We were talking. He says, I said, I'm coming out during the All-Star break with the family. Pick up here. He said, well, come to the house. So I went to Willie Mays' house over the All-Star break, and he told me, among the many things he told me that were fascinating and just, it was the greatest thrill of my life. But he told me about that catch of Vic Wirtz fly ball in the 54 series. Yep. And of course, like any idiot, that's going to be naturally the first question one asks, and so I did. But he said, not my best catch, not my best play. 1952 was the greatest catch I ever made, and it was against the Dodgers at Ebbets Field, and it was like 9th inning, tie game, bases loaded kind of thing. He goes into the gap in left center, dives for a ball, lands on the warning track, bangs his head up against the brick wall, and passes out. He's knocked out. He says he comes to, and standing above him is Leo DeRocher and Jackie Robinson. He had no idea why two men would be standing above him in the outfield of Ebbets Field. What are you guys doing here? And Jackie said, well, I want to make sure he caught the ball. He didn't drop it. And he told me that story as a way of telling his greatest catch. It was better than the Vic Wirtz catch. But then also the kind of competitor and person Jackie was. Yeah. Because Jackie didn't let anything go. But he would run all the way out to the outfield to make sure he caught it. That didn't even seem right. There's a strikeout of Castellanos, and it ends the inning. And another 1-2-3 for Cole Hamels. 8th inning coming up. Rangers leading 3-0. Upcoming schedule for the Rangers. 2 more games in this series. Tomorrow afternoon, Sunday afternoon. And then it's home for the week. White Sox and Blue Jays, because it wouldn't be a week of Rangers baseball without the Blue Jays. It'll be a big weekend series. Back to the road again. Rangers looking for their 2nd win on this roadie. Leading 3-0 tonight and sending the heart of the order against Jordan Zimmerman. Now this is between innings there for Hamels. Those look like congratulatory handshakes. Job well done. Bullpen will take it from here. Beltre 0 for 3 tonight. Zimmerman still toiling. How about that? His pitch count at 99.
Yep.
He's got Beltre to pop up, fly out, ground out. And it's 1-2. Now we were hoping for some great pitching tonight, and we got it. Take a look at the Kubota power stats tonight for Cole Hamels. 9 strikeouts, season high, padding his team lead with 36 so far this year. Beltre with one of those good fundamental swings, pops it up right to shortstop Jose Iglesias, and that is out number 1. I don't know, how does he do that?
That's what Cabrera just asked him when he got down to first base. How do you do that? I don't think Miguel was thinking about doing it himself, but he just wondered how Beltre was able to do that and make contact. Well, maybe Cabrera wants to add that to his repertoire of swings.
So here's Prince Fielder now, and he pops up the first pitch. Well, I've seen this a lot tonight. Zimmerman gets his pop-ups on the infield, and Fielder is out. Castellanos takes care of it. They'll bring up Ian Desmond.
Telltale sign of hitters, being off just a little bit, off balance and off timing just a little bit. The last one for Beltre, I don't know what you would call this, off your feet, but Adrian is something. Most people fall down like that, and the bat goes flying one way, the helmet the other. He hits a pop-up. He could just well have hit it out of the ballpark. I've seen him do that before.
Desmond's had some real good swings tonight. A couple of doubles, 2 for 3. Three runs on 7 hits. Well, no runs, just 1 hit tonight for the Tigers.
Yeah, Cole Hamilton just outstanding tonight. I can't begin to tell you how impressed I was with what he was able to do. Goodness. That is what you call in complete control of a very good hitting ball club.
Diekman warming up, and he's been loosening for a while now. So we'll see him in the 8th inning, or the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-2 now on Desmond. Diekman will also have the bottom 3 hitters in the order will be due. A little tapper by the mound towards short, and Iglesias gathers it up. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Zimmerman. He's in cruise control himself. Bottom of the 8th, Diekman coming on with the Rangers leading by 3.
As we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, and Jake Diekman is on to face the bottom third of the Tigers' order. This pitching duel has lived up to expectations, at least from a Rangers standpoint. It certainly has, as Cole Hamels had a great night tonight. The Rangers will send another undefeated pitcher to the mound tomorrow. That's A.J. Griffin. Nomar Mazara will try to provide a little offense, as he has all year long. And A.J. will try to shut down the hottest, or the best right now, hitter in the American League. And the rest of the Tigers, it's all tomorrow on Fox Sports 1. AT&T high-speed internet brings us the reminder of tomorrow's game on FS1.
Thanks, John. And that one should be fun, too. It's a shame to have to miss an A.J. Griffin start. You know? He's so much fun to watch as Jake Diekman has come on here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, for Jake, his 14th appearance of the year, a third of an inning, his last outing. But the outing before that, he had a little trouble. He gave up 3 runs, first major scoring against Diekman this year. But trying to rebound now, and Rangers really could use a bullpen lockdown here the last 2 innings.
It's a swing and a miss. It's 1-1 on James McCann, who is flat out to left, struck out swinging. McCann's offensive numbers this year not very good, but he has not really been allowed to get into a groove yet. As Buzz mentioned earlier, sprained his ankle trying to beat out a play at first a few weeks ago. Rolled his ankle on the bag and just came back the other day for the Tigers. And it's now 2-2.
Yeah, you would think for catchers, boy, anything involving a foot, an ankle, a knee, all the crouching they have to do, that's going to be a little problematic getting back into game shape.
This one fouled off, stays 2-2. McCann, when you begin learning a little bit about McCann, what jumps out at you are all the superlatives regarding his defense. He is just so good behind the plate. I asked his manager, Brad Ausmus, about it today, and the first thing he talked about is he said, oh, he's going to be a 15 to 20 homer guy when he settles in. He strikes out to start the 8th inning. Bring up a pinch hitter here, Jared Saltalamacchia. Ausmus was not a 15 to 20 homer guy in his career. But man, could he handle the staff and play some defense behind the plate. Saltalamacchia has been doing a lot of the catching with McCann hurt lately. And he's also provided a whole lot of offense in the early part of the season. In fact, he's made the catcher position about the most productive on this team. Big, strong, right-handed hitter. Hitting for Ghost. He's in a hole now, 0-2. .6'4", 235 pounds. He is light work in this 8th inning. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It also includes a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. 2 gone here in the 8th inning. And Diekman to Jose Iglesias, strike 1. Off the handle, bounced right to second, and Odor is there. It's a 1-2-3 inning. So Diekman, quick bottom of the 8th. It takes us to the 9th inning. Rangers by 3. ninth inning. Rangers with the 3-0 lead. Diekman, very nice job of the 8th inning, and now Justin Wilson has come on to pitch for the Tigers.
Justin Wilson, one of the 3 left-handers that Brad Ausmus has down there in the bullpen. His 13th appearance of the year. He has not been scored on. 11 innings of work and 15 strikeouts for the 28-year-old.
They'll face Mitch Moreland to start things in this 9th inning. The one defensive change. Andrew Romine, the new center fielder. Moreland had the single that started the 2-out rally in the 2nd inning. Bouncer towards second base, and Kinsler charges, slings it over to first, one away. Here's our AT&T high-speed replay. This is Elvis Andrus in the 2nd inning, and that big double to the gap. They got Moreland home. First run of the game. And of course, he'd come in a little bit later in the inning on the Wilson base hit. But that was a very big hit by Elvis.
Yeah, a big hit by Elvis, a good aggressive base running from Mitch Moreland, and I think that really set the tone of the offense tonight. They were able to really go after Zimmerman.
Line drive knocked down by Kinsler, but Andrus is on with a base hit, and that was inches away from heading out to the power alley out there, and also inches away from being an out.
Elvis hit that ball so hard it wouldn't stay in the glove. Just found its way back out. Like a slingshot out of Ian's glove.
Second hit of the game for Elvis. And now Bobby Wilson. Bobby tonight 1 for 3, and he had a really big at bat back in the 2nd inning. Locked horns with Zimmerman, fouling off a number of good pitches, and eventually, I mean, he didn't do a lot with it. Reached out, pitched off the plate, and just hooked it back into left field. 2-out RBI. Oh. Zimmerman went 8. Now Justin Wilson, and he's got a big arm on him. And with a base runner, and check in with Elvis. This one stolen base so far this year. 4 attempts. Collison preparing for the bottom of the 9th. Well, after a tough last 3 days in Toronto, this has been a big lift tonight for this Rangers team. Score a couple of runs off one of the best pitchers in the American League so far. And they get just a shutdown performance from Cole Hamels. 9 strikeouts and 7 shutout innings. Dyson loosening out there as well. Close attention to Elvis in this 9th inning.
Well, that's a big run. You get that opportunity to score 4 in a ball game. That makes an awful lot of difference. That way the winning run can never come to home plate as long as you have the 4-run advantage.
again, a really good defensive catcher we've mentioned a couple of times. This one fouled away. Last year, in his first full year in the big leagues, he threw out better than 40% of would-be base stealers. Got 24 base runners last year on the bases. The number that stands out last year was that he made no errors in a full season behind the plate. Down in the dirt to Wilson. 2-2 count. So 1 out in the 9th inning. Rangers have a base runner on. Trying to tack on an extra one. A little pressure off that pen in the bottom of the 9th. It will be the top of the Tigers' order when we get to the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, for the Rangers really to have the kind of bounce back win they need tonight, they really need to close this down and to wipe that bad taste out of your mouth from 2 close games, the middle 2 games in that Toronto series where you had the lead late and couldn't hang on to it, couldn't close it out. You really need to close this one out in good fashion.
This one lined into center, base hit. Andrus all the way to third, and Wilson with a 2-hit night. So a big night for Bobby Wilson at the plate. He's been dadgum good since rejoining the team on Wednesday.
Sure has. 1 for 3 in his first outing, and you mentioned a couple of hits tonight, 2 for 4. And Elvis off and moving with the pitch, and so he didn't even bother to slow down at second. He just kept right on going. The Rangers playing first and third. See if they can add on.
Have the Tigers cornered in this 9th inning, and this will be a great time for Delino DeShields to come up with a breakthrough hit for him. Shows bunt, pushes it first base side, squeeze play on, and Elvis is hung up. Castellanos running him to the plate, and ultimately the tag applied by Miguel Cabrera. So that's the second out. The bunt just went maybe a little too hard to first base. Good news is that both base runners moved as far up as they could.
Looked like the safety squeeze, and Elvis saw the ball down, so then he took off. But that's not a spot you're going to get too much help in. Cabrera got the rundown started.
3-2-5-3 the put out. Bobby Wilson got all the way to third, and DeShields hustled to second. So still an opportunity to add a run this inning as Rougned Odor, who has 2 hits tonight, steps in. And Odor sends this one to the gap left center field, and that will get both runs home. Wilson is in, DeShields on his heels, and Odor with a double. Makes it 5-0 Rangers.
Well, a nice job of hitting by Rougned Odor. Had an idea what he was looking for when he walked up there. Never thought about pulling the ball against the left-hander Wilson. And just plugged that left center field alley. Nice job by Rougned. 2 big runs. The Rangers tonight with 5 runs, they have all come with 2 outs. So that is some timely hitting by the Rangers, something they were lacking a bit in Toronto.
Well, that's a big double by Odor, and that will get a visit to the mound. So 2 out 9th inning runs. Tollison, you figure, will get a break. And Dyson, who was loosening with him out there in that bullpen, will likely be the man on in the bottom of the 9th. And 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th, and now 2 more here in the 9th inning. Nomar Mazara, the big chill. The bouncer second base, Kinsler right there, and that ends the inning. But Rangers pick up 2 more very big runs. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Tigers, with the Rangers leading by 5. With Fox Sports and the Texas Rangers. Throughout May, you can enjoy the Cholula all-you-can-eat seats for only $34 for Sunday through Thursday games. Enjoy the Cholula seats and get the best view of the brand new video board in left field. Go to TexasRangers.com/specials and use code FSSW-SUMMER. Get your tickets today. Bottom of the 9th, 5-0 Rangers. What a night tonight for Cole Hamels. Jake Diekman, a scoreless 8th, and now it's going to be Sam Dyson in the bottom of the 9th.
Now, Sam pitched a couple of games in Toronto, both Monday and Tuesday, the first 2 games of that series. He's unscored upon in his last 4 outings. This is his 14th game of the season. Opposition hitting just .227 against that fireballing sinker baller.
Well, he'll have the top of the order. Kinsler, Aviles, and then Miguel Cabrera. Tigers were just swept in Cleveland, and then home for just this 3-game series. Then back out to the road again. Dyson starts Kinsler off with strike 1.
You mentioned the Cleveland series for the Tigers. If it weren't for the Indians, the Tigers would be in pretty good shape this year. They're 0-6 against Cleveland. They're 14-7 against everybody else.
And Cleveland, the team that they have dominated in recent years, is a blast down the left field line by Kinsler. A good start out of the box, and he'll have a leadoff double at the bottom of the 9th inning. Just the 2nd hit tonight for the Tigers.
Well, Kinsler's always been good down and in. That wasn't quite down and in, but thigh high on the inside part of the plate. He able to turn on that very quickly. Just able to get it out of the reach of Adrian Beltre for that leadoff 2-bagger.
Kinsler out there at 2nd, and now Mike Aviles. Dyson starts him with a good fastball for strike 1. 5 runs, 10 hits for the Rangers tonight. No runs. That was just the 2nd hit tonight for Detroit. Their other hit was a Kinsler single back in the 1st. Bouncer up the middle. Elvis is there, bobbles it, and everybody's going to be safe. That's
the first error the Rangers have committed in the last 12 ball games. Snaps that errorless streak. Just Elvis's second of the year, his first since opening day. That's going to put runners at the corners. Elvis might have just taken his eye off it for the last second, thinking about the throw to first. First error for the Rangers since April the 22nd. That was their second longest errorless streak in franchise history. The longest streak back in 1996 of 15 straight ball games.
They've been the best defensive team in the American League this year. Well, here's Miguel Cabrera. And Dyson misses that outside corner with a good fastball there, 98 miles per hour. Those 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning starting to look pretty big. And Collison once again loosening up. That ball on the ground. Beltre to second, 1. Odor to first, 2. Double play. I'll concede the run for the 2 outs. A 5-4-3 double play, and that's a big defensive turn in this inning.
You know, something the Rangers have done better than anybody else, or more frequently than anybody else in all of baseball. Turn that double play. This is number 45 for the season. And it mutes a threat that was being mounted by the Tigers.
And now the base is empty for Victor Martinez. Martinez has to flop over to the other side of the plate now against the throwing Dyson. Takes ball 1. Martinez 0 for 3. 6-game hitting streak in jeopardy. Shift on the infield for Martinez. And he hits right into it. Odor out of the grass in right. And he'll make the play. Ball game over. And the Rangers with a 5-1 win in the opener here in Detroit behind the outstanding pitching of Cole Hamels. Great start to this 3-game series. And now, Buzz, you know, your second win on this trip. And tomorrow they could get to 500 on the road and leave it